Marker. Jesus Christ. Dead by Daylight. What is going on? Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back. And today I want to kind of talk about in this discussion Dead by Daylight. But not just Dead by Daylight. The bugs. Jesus Christ, there are so many bugs with this update. I could go on and on and on. There are so many blatant bugs. There are bugs for survivors. There are bugs for killers. There are so many game-breaking bugs. There are so many bugs in this update. It is almost near unacceptable. And I just kind of want to make this video to just kind of let off a little bit of steam, but also talk about it and get the fire rolling on this, because this kind of update that got pushed is completely unacceptable, because there are not only subtle bugs that you have to look in like little perks, there are literally bugs that are blatantly in your face that you see 24/7. Like when you're loading into a match, you literally are greeted by a random asset that someone forgot to get rid of in the game. No joke. When you load in and it's in the offering screen, there's an asset sitting on the left corner of the screen because someone forgot to delete it. I don't know how that got pushed through or unnoticed. It's pretty fucking obvious, but someone's losing their job regardless of that. What the hell? There are so many game-breaking bugs in Dead by Daylight right now. And this is kind of what I said in a video before I went on my hiatus of Dead by Daylight. I was worried that this would happen, is that the more chapters that would be released, the more buggy it would be. Houndmaster was filled with bugs. Filled with bugs. She's clunky. She's bad. Her power is so unusable. And then we have Kaneki, which I wasn't around for the Kaneki release. But I will say this. Apparently, when he was released, equally a buggy mess. Incredibly buggy. And it's still pretty buggy, apparently. And also really forgiving with hitboxes. But that's just Dead by Daylight. They're always forgiving with the hitboxes. That's regardless. I'm here to talk about the bugs. And Jesus Christ, Walking Dead came out with a beautiful amount of bugs that you can make content out of. And a beautiful amount of things that you can easily say, you guys are indie devs, but how do you miss this? Now, I understand that there are almost 300 perks in total in the game, so perks are bound to have bugs and completely be overshot. But when it's a perk that you worked on for this update, how do you miss those bugs? I'm actually genuinely curious. How do you miss that? And how do you miss an asset being in the offering screen? How do you miss that? How do you miss that chase music does not start? Now, the list goes on and on and on and on. And this kind of contradicts what Behavior had said in their post of February 17th, 2025, which was their Dead by Daylight Quality of Life Initiative phase. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed at all. Even though we have gotten a lot of quality of life in-game mechanics and tweaks, the actual core game itself, the details going into bug fixes and the game actually working have not been addressed. They've gotten worse somehow. At least that's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. It just feels like it's just somehow gotten worse. And now we are entering into phase 2, which is, of course, July into December. Now, we do have a lot to look forward to. We do have new MMR update. We apparently have a map and key balancing, which we've already gotten. We've gotten apparently continued improvements of anti-slug, which honestly some of the perks are kind of nutty. We have keyboard and mouse consoles, custom game improvements, accessibility improvements, prestige rewards, and reduced login steps. Now, here's the thing, is that all of those are going to be coming into July and December, but the bugs I don't see being addressed here. Now, it does say in their lower text that they are going to include more bug fixes for long-standing issues, but how do you do that when you literally came out with an update that has the most blatant, game-breaking, and honestly busted bugs that are beyond fun? They are literally game-breaking. Killer can't get in chase early enough, even though some killers literally require you to be in chase and try and get Bloodlust as soon as possible, because some killers need a hand. That's just the design of the killer. That's nothing to do with the player. Sometimes the killer literally needs that. And on top of that, on the survivor end, there are elements in maps, lots of maps, that are completely unusable or that bug out, or for starters, connection issues. And I don't mean player to player. I don't mean that, where it's lag. I mean actual server issues that make it look as though it's a little suspicious. And sometimes it involves getting a hit that never even happened, or an action that never even was inputted. Some weird things are happening in Dead by Daylight right now. Some of them are just really weird and funny. Of course, like the giant pole that you see at the starting of your loading screen, like the pole asset that you were seeing. So again, how does all of this get pushed through and completely unnoticed? Was this a rushed update? Because if it was, that's not a good sign. That doesn't make it look good at all. As a matter of fact, that makes the whole situation worse, because that means to us, you're rushing your game. Why are you rushing your game? Is there something that you plan on in the next update that you had to push The Walking Dead between 2 frames? That could be a reason, and I will say, if that's the case and you come out with this big update for the game's health improvement, that proves it. If not, and you come out with another chapter, and this chapter ends up being another buggy mess, if not worse than it is, that's not putting the game's health forward, that's putting content out to keep players in it. Does it work? Yes, it does, but it's not going to keep players around. We have lost almost half of the amount of players that we got from Five Nights at Freddy's because of this. And I see it declining in the future if the bugs get worse with a new update. Is not looking favorable. Now, I'm going to go into what I would like to see in the near future. I would like to see less content coming out and more effort put toward the game's mechanical health. That's all I want to see. I said this in a previous video, I believe. That's all I want. That's all I want for the game. I love this game. I am a big supporter of this game. But overall, I think that's what needs to happen. They need to look at the game and say, stop with the content. Even if they said, let's stop with the content for a year, 6 months, whatever. Give your guys self some space. You guys control the game. We are the consumer, though. We understand that our demand is high. But when the demand says, fix your game, I think that's okay to say, can we just take a year to not come out with content, or at least minimal content, and put our focus more to the mechanical behavior of the game? I'm pretty sure a lot of reasonable people who play this game pretty regularly will be like, yeah, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. It's got my vote. I don't know what you guys think. Again, this is just a discussion on a little bit of a rant here, but I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Anyway, that's all I'm going to be saying for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please remember to leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are and what kind of bugs that you found out. And remember, keep the details about how those bugs work pretty light, because we don't want people exploiting them. Let me know what your thoughts are about this update when it comes to bugs. I just needed a little bit of a rant. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know, and I'll push more of that kind of rant stuff out. In the meantime, though, I'll see you all on live stream. I do go live on Twitch. I'll link that down in the description. I'll also link the quality of life updates that you can see here on their behavior post that I'm looking at right now. So be sure to check that out. I'll link that also down in the description. But yeah, these were just my thoughts and opinions on it. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy, and behavior, please. Like, you guys have a really good thing going. Don't mess it up by just pushing things out and making everything a buggy mess. You guys can bring back that audience, because a lot of people are going to leave that, and a lot of people already have. We went from a 120k at the peak, leveling off there, and then dropped to literally in the 60s to 70s, close to the 50s again, in terms of the Steam numbers. But again, I'm just a small time streamer, but I think this is something that really needs to be addressed, and I'm not the only person who's addressed it. A lot of people are voicing this, including people who are way bigger than I am. This needs to be fixed. One hell of an update in terms of design, I guess you could say. I don't know. I don't know a better way of putting it. But yeah, this is a buggy. But yeah, this is a buggy mess, and I hope it gets fixed, and I hope it gets fixed soon. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Dead by Daylight. Hope you all enjoy. If you did, remember to check out the rest of the channel, and hope to see you up on Twitch. See you guys, and have a good one.